This video was made possible by sponsors like you. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. Hello everybody, I'm WHYBOY, and this is NERO.
Meh.
Scoob. Welcome back to Cartoon Corner. To catch you up to speed, Scoob is a 2020 WB animated film that returns Mystery Inc. to the silver screen after their disastrous departure in 2004.
Now Mystery Inc. is back thanks to the Warner Animation Group, the think tank behind the likes of the Lego Movie, the Lego Batman movie, the Lego Ninjago movie. Yeah, a lot of Lego. Oh, and Smallfoot, which no one apparently liked except for me and WHYBOY.
And after all this waiting and avoiding the majority of trailers and social media and spoilers, what do you think of Scoob, Nero?
I don't much care for it.
Yeah, me neither. A lot of Scoob felt like missteps and missed opportunities, as there was such a golden core to it that I was loving, but I couldn't fall in love with due to everything else. But after watching it and seeing all the news coverage, I just started to really think, is Scoob just a Blue Falcon movie? Scoob is a story about how Shaggy and Scooby meet, how they meet the gang, and how their friendship is tested, and it's all within the context of Dick Dastardly from Wacky Racers wanting to kidnap Scooby for a nefarious plot. So Shaggy and Scooby are whisked away and protected by Blue Falcon and Dynamite as they go on a world-trotting adventure to find the skulls of Cerberus and stop Dick Dastardly. Oh, and one of the girls from Cat and Caveman is there too. Neat.
All these different Hanna-Barbera properties are coming together because they're intended to make Scoob the first installment in a series of films set within a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe.
This isn't a secret or speculation, it's what WB wants. After the disastrous approach to DC movies and the moderate success of the CW DC universe, they now want to try it with Hanna-Barbera characters.
And much like the DC cinematic universe, WB doesn't want to invest time and build it up.
I don't want it later or tomorrow, I want it now, and I will gladly sacrifice any form of quality to get it. Forget the long-term consequences when I can have short-term results. That gets me the goods. Back to the question at hand, is Scoob just a Blue Falcon movie?
Yup.
The majority of the film is Mystery Inc. split up, with Fred, Velma, and Daphne in a subplot solving the mystery of why Scooby was kidnapped. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy are saddled with Blue Falcon, Dynamite, and Dee Dee Sykes in a subplot solving the treasure hunt subplot to stop Dick Dastardly.
Ooh, but WHYBOY, I do believe you mean Blue Falcon Jr.
Oh, that's right, the marketing for this film actually lied. This isn't your dad's Blue Falcon. And no, we aren't making a joke, that movie flat out uses that dialogue.
This ain't your daddy's Blue Falcon.
That's right, the movie pulled a bait and switch, with instead of being about Mystery Inc., it's centered around Brian, the son of the original Blue Falcon who was taken up the cowl after the original Blue Falcon retired and just gave everything to his spoiled, cowardly, dude bro archetype son. His journey is one of self-discovery and what it means to be a hero. In the third act, most of the time, he's just a goofball.
Everybody say hashtag Foxy Falcon. Hashtag Foxy Falcon.
Even genre-wise, this isn't really a mystery movie. Scoob is primarily a superhero movie because that's the type of film that is just currently dominating the box office.
Blue Falcon is the superhero, Dynamite is the toyetic sidekick, Dick Dastardly is the dashing devil-may-care villain, the plot is a treasure hunt, a road trip, and a superhero movie Frankensteined together.
And Mystery Inc. is allowed the privilege to carry this commercial because there is little interest, if any. Anyone in modern time would know who the Blue Falcon is.
Meanwhile, Scooby-Doo has been around for over half a century, over 50 years. The last time mainstream audiences even heard of Blue Falcon was in the Scooby-Doo movie Mask of the Blue Falcon, and that was about a decade ago, and now this movie has to wrestle with trying to be both a love letter to Scooby-Doo and a premiere to the mainstream audiences for the Blue Falcon.
It makes Scoob feel bloated and not like a real Scooby-Doo movie at all. You can critique how they wanted to try something fresh, new, or any other studio-related buzzwords, but the reality is that for setting up a shared universe, this should feel and be a Scooby-Doo movie that will allow new new viewers to get acclimated before we venture into the bigger landscape of the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe.
The idea should be starting small. You have Mystery Inc. be a group of kids solving a mystery, and they stop Dick Dastardly, who is our entry point into a greater universe. Have Mystery Inc. solve smaller mysteries like the spooky space coupe, the ghost clown, and Charlie the Funland robot. But then they run into Dick Dastardly, who is a bona fide supervillain. Gone is the costume buffoonery of real estate tycoons, and now we got the Lex Luthor of Hanna-Barbera. We can have Mystery Inc. stop this supervillain, and then they can be invited to join this Justice League-style team made of other Hanna-Barbera characters.
Instead, they throw everything in the first film, and on top of that, it's the same plot we have seen for over a decade with these superhero movies. The bad guy needs to collect a thing, or things, which will open a portal in the sky, which will allow a bad thing to come out and hurt us. Now the heroes must knock the bad thing back in and close the portal. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
In this movie, Team Falcon and Mystery Inc. stop an invasion and battle Cerberus, a three-headed canine guardian of the underworld. This should not be your first step for a Scooby-Doo movie, let alone the debut of a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. It's too big of a start, and where's this escalation gonna go from here?
Not only is this a bloated superhero movie masquerading as a Scooby-Doo movie, but they break up Mystery Inc. and we really don't get much characterization of the group's dynamic. Sure, Shaggy and Scooby being friends and cowards stays mostly true, but Fred, Velma, and Daphne get shafted. Fred especially in this department.
What are you doing? Touching it with bare fingers. Ugh.
Grow up, Fred.
The movie flat out tells us the team dynamic and at least shows us that they live up to the dynamics they bring up. Through Simon Cowell, of course, because references are fun!
Yeah!
Velma's the brain, so she figures stuff out, and they show it. Daphne's empathetic, so her kindness allows her to help people, and they show it. Fred's the tank, and they show it when he is a kid, where all the good portion of the movie is. But after that, he turns into a complete gag character. Kind of a Freddie Prinze Jr. gag character, if you catch my drift. Freddy doesn't even make any elaborate traps in this movie. This is one consistent aspect for his character throughout his incarnations, and they skip it. And as for his one tank moment grown up,
the most Scooby-Doo feeling this film gets is within the first 12 minutes. You get Mr. Inc. as kids, Shaggy and Scooby's friendship blossoms, and showing that Shaggy is an introvert who has a hard time making friends, and that is all well done. And having Shaggy and Scooby meeting Mystery Inc. on Halloween is actually great, and it allows you to see a sense of characterization through costumes, so it's a really good sense of visual storytelling.
Fred is a knight because Freddy basically embodies the meme, he protect, but he also attack. Fred will go before everyone to make sure it's safe, but he will also attack if he has to save people. Daphne is Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman is the embodiment of strength and compassion. Velma is a judge because she is all about order and evidence, and Shaggy and Scooby are Blue Falcon and Dynamite because they are friends and partners.
They even solve a mystery about the local neighborhood's haunted house, and that all happens in the first 12 minutes. After that, everything goes into breakneck speed for a bunch of Hanna-Barbera references and to get from scene to scene as quickly as possible. There is content here, but it's content that doesn't need to be here.
Characters like Dee Dee Suggs and Captain Caveman are here because they are Hanna-Barbera properties, not because they have any service to the story. Dee Dee just regurgitates whatever a computer does during the treasure hunt, and you could have had Dynamite do that. He's a computer, and a dog, and he talks. He can just be the central computer for Falcon's base. And Captain Caveman is just straight up weird. He's just a guy with the voice of Tracy Morgan.
I know I'm small. It's a pituitary thing.
He is very articulate, and it completely undercuts the zany quirkiness of the original character. He's here to build the Hanna-Barbera universe, but he is not integrated organically at all. He's just there. Earlier we said that there is a gag about this isn't your dad's Blue Falcon, and that really is the overall feel of the movie.
Let's be clear, ToonGrin, mean WHYBOY, and we're sure that the fandom is not against the concept of reinvention. Reinvention is good. Reinvention is important because it stops things from getting stale. It's why a movie like Scooby-Doo Zombie Island is so revered in our community, because it shook the foundation of Scooby-Doo in terms of atmosphere and themes. WHYBOY and I both agreed that we like the idea of reinvention, but we don't agree that the execution is done very well.
Because at the end of this film, it's proven that this really is just a commercial for the Hanna-Barbera universe, and not trying to be a movie. Iron Man in 2008 was a movie first and a stepping stone into the Marvel Universe second. But like the DCEU, this is doing it entirely backwards. And that doesn't even mention the worst aspect that was squandered in Scoob. Scooby and Shaggy. Their time together as kids is heartfelt, cute, and believable. This felt like a perfect reimagining for a Scooby-Doo movie, showing their connection grow as an introverted Shaggy takes in the abandoned Scooby and grows over the years with him. But all that beautiful setup leads to the very contrived and easily spotted plot twists. Shaggy gives Scooby his collar and Scooby says, "I'll never take it off." Shaggy and Scooby say they'll never leave each other alone. Shaggy says one of us needs to be sealed up and trapped in this underworld forever to save the world because we're best friends, so we'll never see each other again?
You can have heartfelt moments. Honestly, we encourage that kind of writing. But going for the sacrifice move and then undoing it a literal few minutes later is so manipulative. And it's evidence of narrative cowardice and proves that likely writers won't have courage to do anything dramatic. Plus, this is the first film of this franchise. There's no need for a bait and switch this early on. We are just getting started. Save that kind of writing for when the audience is invested.
And if WB wants to make it cartoonish and goofy, then that's fine. The Lego Movie balanced that pretty well without undercutting themes. This movie wants to bring up themes of testing friendship, but it honestly never clicks.
That's not entirely true. One friendship is genuinely fleshed out.
It's true, Dick Dastardly and Muttley may have a toxic relationship, but it's a comically toxic one that is very well written. They're the kind of friends that scuffle and fight, but in the end do care for one another above anything else. Scooby and Shaggy's relationship feels undercut, underdeveloped, and undeserved out of the first 12 minutes. Meanwhile, Dick Dastardly, the bad guy, the driving force of villainy, will literally move heaven and earth to open up a portal into Greek hell, ignore all the treasure, just to get his friend back after he lost him for being selfish. Pro tip, never make your antagonist more compelling than your protagonist. It flat out will just kill your movie on arrival. Anyoto buttnoses for hating Scoob. Oh, Vanilla, you're here. Too bad we were having a good time until now.
No, we weren't. That was the whole point of this video.
Oh yeah. Thanks for tuning into Cartoon Corner. What are your thoughts on Scoob and the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to see more, then subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on ToonGrin content. You can support us by following us on social media, sponsoring us on Patreon, or making a purchase from our TeePublic store. Links are in the description below. And as always, be sure to tune in to ToonGrin.